eBay's 30-day return policy. Do you think it's fair enough? I think it is, but I've been getting a lot of questions, and I've actually been seeing a lot of people ask about return requests they've received after the 30-day return period. And we're going to talk about that on the other side. So without any further ado, let's go. Welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin, Ain't Easy. And I asked the question on the other side of the intro about eBay's 30-day return policy. Now, some of you, a very small, a select few out there, have 60-day returns. And you know what? It really depends on the type of items that you're selling. If you have items that you're selling that are very low risk type items, we're talking brand new in the package, things that maybe don't require someone to try on, or maybe unlike what I sell, electronics, where it takes some expertise to work a device, that type of thing. Something that maybe like a health and beauty item or something like that, I can see you choosing to do 60-day returns. It reinforces the customer's perception in what you're selling and what you're offering. But like for me, many of you who buy items that are either customer returns, or maybe you buy it at a thrift store or a yard sale, something that isn't necessarily brand new, because many of the items I sell isn't necessarily brand new, we choose, or at least I choose, the 30-day return policy. Now, back in the day, I did the 14-day return policy because, the way I looked at it is I looked at it as 14 days is enough time for someone to receive their item. The clock starts when they receive the item. And so they have 14 days to determine, is this what I wanted? Is this going to work for what I need it for? Does it even work? For those sell clothing, does it fit? Is it the right color? Does it match what I saw on the photos of the listing? 14 days is plenty enough. And I know that many of you, in many of my previous videos over the last year and a half since I've been doing videos, have pretty much said to that effect. Mercari gives you 3 days. Once the customer gets it, they have 3 days to sign off on the item and give you your 5-star rating or whatever it is, and the money is released over to you. Poshmark is the same way. And so eBay, of course, they don't need to copy Mercari or Poshmark because they have their own, dedicated pool of customers that continually use the site, which is the only reason why I sell on eBay. And their policy is now 30 days required. Now, as we've said many times on this channel, there is no return policy. So if you have a no return policy, that might make you feel good. It might make you sleep at night. If your buyer decides that it's not as described, maybe they thought it was one thing and it turned out to be something else, then you are forced to pay for that return label and take that item back. So there is no return policy or no return policy on eBay. Just please know that. No matter how long it's worked for you, it's a matter of time before you run into that buyer who really wants to return that item, and they can make that happen if they want to. So back on topic, and that is the 30-day return policy that eBay has established. Is it enough time? Now, I've had, I'd say this year alone, at least 3 people come at me with a return request from eBay, and it turns out that those return requests were all beyond the 30-day return period. Now, a lot of customers will try to give you the excuse that they were on vacation and they just got back, or who knows what. I've had one of those. I've had one where they used the heck out of it and it stopped working after like the 45th day. And, there's also just buyer remorse. Yet after 30 days, you've fulfilled your obligation as a seller if you have a 30-day return policy. Yet if a customer wants to, they can go onto eBay, find the item they bought, and hit the button to request a return. Now, if you're not careful, maybe you're used to just approving your returns, you have a no questions asked policy, you may not look to see if that buyer bought that item more than 30 days ago or received it more than 30 days ago. And you might go in and approve that return request not knowing or not realizing until it's too late that you've approved the return on an item that's over 30 days beyond the shipping date or the receive date. And you're on the hook at that point to accept a return that's over 30 days. So that's why, in my opinion, always look to see when that item was delivered and go in and carefully look at that return request, because that return request will just be that, a request. And what I don't understand though is why eBay even entertains the customer, gives them false hope that maybe you, who've established your 30-day return policy, will be willing to take a return beyond 30 days. So what they do is they allow the buyer to go in and click on that button to return the item. Buyer types in, whatever excuse or reason they're trying to return the item. And what it's doing, it's from the time they hit send to the time they get a reply back from you, the seller, that buyer is hopeful that they will be able to get that return. And just maybe they might get that seller who may click on accepting the return and not realizing it is beyond the 30 days. But for the rest of us that are right on top of it, that know it's more than 30 days, you're just creating a customer that's now going to be let down. They can still maybe as a result leave negative feedback, and maybe they don't leave negative feedback saying that you refuse to take the return, which of course could be removed if that's what they said, but maybe they could put something to the effect of item didn't work or wasn't what I ordered or something like that. And we all know that customers aren't always going to tell the truth when it comes to leaving negative feedback. And good luck convincing eBay that feedback, and of course the customer can leave feedback 60 days from the actual transaction. Good luck getting eBay to say anything more than, well, the buyer's allowed to leave whatever feedback they wish to leave, and that's subjective, and we can't get in the middle and take it out, because that's kind of what they'll tell you. So it kind of puts us in a catch-22 or a kind of an awkward situation as sellers as to how should we handle these requests. I can tell you, for those of you who kind of really don't know the way you would handle it, for me, I don't care if they say the item doesn't work anymore. I don't care if they were maybe stuck on a desolate island for the last month and finally were rescued and were brought back home to find that their item doesn't fit, doesn't work, isn't what they ordered. I'm not accepting that return. eBay requires all sellers to offer a 30-day return policy of some sort, whether the buyer pays for the return shipping or whether you as a seller pay for return shipping. And that's mandated. It's not an option anymore. And because eBay has buyer-friendly policies, for me, this is one policy I'm going to stand behind 99.99% of the time. And I'm not even quite sure what that 0.01% would be. Maybe you do. Put the comments down below. Let me know. I think this is an interesting discussion, but it's happening more than it did last year for me, these returns after 30 days. I saw one online here on one of the forums where their buyer bought a lamp. They spent over 30 days trying to, I guess, get rid of a smell that this was emulating from this lamp. They tried everything because it's like an antique lamp of some sort, and it had a BO smell, and they tried everything they could to get rid of that smell, including putting it outside and spraying it with stuff, and to no avail. And they were like done with it. They couldn't handle it anymore. But for me, take the first 29 days and try to figure that out. But you better be contacting me before the 30th day or on the 30th day for that return, because I'm not accepting it on the 31st day. And they can yell INAD, they can yell anything they want. After you receive that request, after the 30th day, it's just that, a request. And you are not obligated as a seller under any circumstances to accept that return. And followed up with a nice, polite reply to that customer saying, we offer a generous 30-day return policy. And for those of you who are worried about possible credit card chargebacks, let me tell you one last thing on this issue. And that is, a customer doesn't have as much power as I think a lot of you guys make it out to be. Just because they have the power to open a chargeback doesn't mean they're going to win that chargeback. Take it from someone who's filed actually 2 chargebacks and won both of them as buyers, and have received 2 chargebacks as a seller. And knock on wood, I am yet to lose a chargeback case, because I'm very thorough with my information, and I'm very aware that the buyer has to adhere to the merchant's rules and guidelines, and they have to actually act in good faith and reach out and attempt to work with you as a seller to rectify their problem. And opening a return request is not sufficient. Now, that's not to say you guys are going to provide me with all the examples down below. I know where maybe you've lost a case, or maybe you've won a case, above and beyond a company's 30-day or whatever their return policy might be. But I can tell you that if, as a seller, you reply to these cases and are thorough and explain that we offer a generous 30-day return policy in your rebuttal, and of course, there's a way to do that. I know eBay only gives you a place to upload a photo, but you can do a screenshot of a Word document that you type up and explain that the customer never acted in good faith, they never followed eBay's return policy, and you're going to win more often than not. And you're not going to always win, because a lot of these companies like to rubber stamp the responses, and maybe just like eBay, don't always read the information that they're sent. But I like my chances, and for that reason, I'm not going to worry about a chargeback. I'm going to continue to follow eBay's requirement of a 30-day return policy. Some of my items are buyer pays returns. Some of my items, the smaller, less expensive items, are free returns. And that's just the way I roll. However you do it is up to you. But I want to know how you guys think about this issue. Have you had any experiences with returns beyond the 30-day period? Or if you offer 60-day returns beyond the 60-day return window, please leave your comments down below. I'm curious not only if it's happened to you, but how you handled it. That would be great information to share with the rest of us. If you like this content, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course hit that notification bell so when I go live or make another one of these videos, you're going to be notified. So guys, I don't care whether you offer 30-day or 60-day returns. Do the right thing. Run your business as a business. We're not here as a charity, but make the right decision that works best for you, because eBay's already looking out for the customer. You got to look out for you, the seller, because eBay hasn't been doing a lot of that lately at all. But no matter what you decide to do, just remember, flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have a great start of your week, and we will talk to you here very soon.